Now, when they receive this letter, your debtors will do one of four things. One, they'll pay and everything's great. Two, they'll ring you up and tell you that their financial situation isn't that good and they will ask to arrange for. Two, they'll call you to inform you of their financial situation and subsequently arrange a workable, mutually agreeable repayment program. For these people, you must send out a letter that spells out the details of your agreement as well as outlines the consequences of breaking the agreement, namely instant referral to a debt collection agency. Now, if you don't already have such an agreement letter in your arsenal of in-house recovery weapons, don't worry, I'll set you up with these and all the other tools mentioned in this video when you become a client of mine. Okay, so the third way a debtor can respond to my reminder letter is to advise you of a dispute they have with either your invoice or your goods or services. Now, if they call you with such a grievance, it's very important that you get them to put everything in writing. To frame this request in a respectful manner, it can be helpful to say something along the lines of, so that I can address all of your concerns quickly and without confusion, it would help me greatly if you'd write down all your concerns and have these to me by this time next week. Now, it's important that you give them a deadline to write to you so that you don't get strung along. Now, should you receive this dispute in writing and you deem the dispute to be fair and reasonable, then you should do everything in your power to resolve the matter quickly and amicably so that there is no longer any reason for the account to remain unpaid. However, should you genuinely feel that the dispute is a bogus attempt to get out of paying you, then without a moment's delay, you should refer that debt to my team immediately. That's because you're now dealing with a potential nightmare and you need professional help to nip this in the bud. And as we're one of the exceedingly rare collection agencies that are fully geared to handle bogus disputes as part of our service, referring these prickly debts to us is a no-brainer. And the fourth way they'll respond to my reminder letter is by frankly not contacting you and by not paying you. Now, in this fourth instance, where the debt remains unpaid and you've not heard from your debtor, step 5 of my formula for fast and affordable in-house debt collection is to get on the phone on day 15. Now, this phone call is once again scripted in such a way to identify their reason for non-payment and then arranging payment either in full or by installment. Again, as a client, I'll supply you with this script. Now, if as a result of this phone call a payment plan is agreed to, then you must send out an agreement letter that verifies the details of the payment plan as well as the consequences for not paying. If, however, payment is not received within the next 7 days following this phone call, or if you couldn't actually speak to the debtor after 2 days of trying, then step 6 is to send out my final demand letter. As an added bonus in lesson 5 of this course, you'll receive a copy of my final demand letter. But for now, what I want to point out is that up to this point, you've given your debtors every reasonable opportunity to either pay up or at least get in touch with you. If at this point they've not contacted you, or alternatively they've broken an agreement, then they've very clearly identified themselves to you as a professional debtor or career criminal. And it would be absolutely insane to do as many so-called experts advise by sending them more and more reminder letters over time. They've sent you a clear message that they've got no intention of paying you, and as such, you need to take rapid and decisive action. So as such, on day 22, step 6 of my formula is to send them my final demand letter without delay. Now, should they still not pay within the next 7 days, then the 7th and final step of my formula for fast and affordable in-house debt collection is to immediately transfer the debt onto my team to recover on your behalf. And that's it. 7 simple yet powerful steps to recover your accounts in 30 days or less without wasting your time and without wasting your money. Now, even though you can see the logic in the system, chances are you're balking at the thought of referring an unpaid account to a debt collection agency after only 30 days. If that's the case, what you need to remember is that if they're having trouble paying you, chances are they've got a swag of other creditors they aren't paying as well. And if these creditors are like most business owners, they won't have any fast and effective system to recover their accounts. So while they're sitting on their backside and dragging their heels, you're taking early and persuasive action. So in a classic case of the squeaky wheel gets the grease, because you're the first one to put the heat on them, you'll be the first one they'll pay. But more importantly, because you're the first in line to get paid, the chances they'll have the means to settle your debt are infinitely greater than if you were the last in line, when what little funds they may have all been spent paying everyone else. So bottom line, following this formula at the prescribed times will dramatically boost the number and speed at which you recover your debts. Again, it all comes back to the graph I showed you yesterday. The longer you leave your debts, the more money you'll lose. The faster you recover your debts, the more money you'll pocket. Now, if you'd like to have all of these tools working for you in your business, I'm happy to give them all to you as a free gift when you engage my services to recover your debts. So if you're ready to have my team recover your debts, simply click on the picture to the right of the hand holding the cash and simply fill out the form that will show up and fax it back to me, and we'll take care of the rest. Alternatively, if there's anything you're unclear about or you'd like some advice, then click on the picture to the right of the hand holding the red telephone. Again, simply fill out the form and one of my trained debt nurses will give you a call. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to click on the picture of the seedling to get your hands on the copy of my debt collection reminder letter. Okay, so that wraps up today's lesson. Tomorrow, keep an eye out for lesson 3, which is perhaps the most shocking lesson of all. I'll show you the simple formula which reveals the crippling amount of work you have to do to make up for an unrecovered debt, before showing you the secret to flooding your business with net profits at effectively zero cost. This is one lesson you simply must watch, so until I speak with you tomorrow, you take care.